Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here with episode 14 of Feed the Beast Pyramid Reborn. Today, we're going to solve our Ender Pearl issues. They do not generate fast enough. We've gotten 17 since the end of the last episode, and it is past time to make those generate as quickly as we could possibly want. For that, I'm going to need another mob crusher. Let's just store that so that we can easily get back to it. Oh, I actually had everything else I needed. Fantastic. I'm going to want a touch of cursed earth. It's actually our last piece that we were given. Anything further, and we're going to need to get some silk touch to pick it up. Actually, I'm not even sure that's an option. But the drop of evil, rare drop from wither skeletons, that's a potential way to get our hands on more if we decide we need it. I am going to want a total of 48 dirt. So here we'll take that stack of 40 and there we go. Make it up to 48. And what am I gonna want? I'm actually gonna want to take myself a few stacks of obsidian because I'm gonna need it to get around. We'll grab 3. And after that, what we need now are some items from RF tools, specifically storage items. I want to make myself a tier 1 storage module, which I've got all the everything I need stored for that. I want to make myself a couple of remote storage modules, which are a little bit more expensive and use up some of my ender pearls. I'm going to want a modular storage. Well, actually, I'm going to want 2 modular storages and 1 remote storage. So we'll make the remote storage first, as these have... well, you know what? Let's make a number of the machine frames. Just have them ready for me. 1 remote storage first, then 2 modular storages. There we go. And it's not super important where I put each of these, to be honest. So, as these are pretty much just going to be way stations for the ultimate ender pearl storage. So we're going to stick our remote storage down. That's where our storage module is going to go. And cross-dimensional access will be enabled. And then we're going to get both of our remote storage modules copied with that ID number 1. And we're going to go ahead and toss a flux point down. And we're going to stick a modular storage right here. Oh, storing stuff advancement kit, which doesn't actually need energy. The remote storage does, the modular storage not so much. And the modular storage, we're going to go ahead and put this remote storage module into. So now it can have up to 100 stacks of whatever we toss in there. It's only going to be ender pearls and experience going in there. And then I need to make sure that I am pumping out of this modular storage into my item interface, because I want my ender pearls to end up stored there. And the reason I need this particular setup is because I am going to be setting up this mob crusher in the end, because that's where all the endermen are, so why not? And we're gonna not take any of our clay tools with us, just out of things that we can't easily replace, which are basically the clay tools. We'll be staying here for the time being, as I'm going to want to be able to build myself a little area over there of safety. And I don't want to lose anything irreplaceable while I'm there. The cursed earth, on the other hand, I'm just going to have to deal with. Oh, you know what? I wanted my watering can, didn't I? Yeah, I'm going to need that. We're going to be spreading cursed earth. We're going to want our extra utilities watering can. And I should really make elevators and stop abusing that mode right there. But there's also a little bit of why involved. Anyway, into the end we go. Woo! Apparently a bit of cobblestone and an iron builder's wand fell through into the end at some point during all of my adventures. That's kind of hilarious. As you can see, in the end, there is a landing platform for each of the players and a whole bunch of obsidian pillars off in the distance. I'm hoping that I brought enough obsidian with me to do everything that I need to, because I'm basically just going to be building myself a one wide area bridge that's going to run through those pillars to what I know to be the end portal home is in the middle of all of those. No dragon right off the bat. So I guess we're lucky on that note. All right, so we're going to put a flux point down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We'll put our flux point down here and our mob crusher on top of it. And we're going to copy our flux config into that mob crusher. Actually, you know what? I probably want to give myself a bit more room than that, don't I? And because it is skyblock and we like to build safely, we're going to want to put some water down. Can we put water in the end? You know, I've honestly never tried to do this. Water in the end. Nope. Doesn't like it. Oh, yeah, it does. Works out fine. Okay, good. Because I want to have a 2-wide platform. And to do that, I need to get down there and put it down for the first time. Shift right click allows you to... I have no idea what that's doing to the reservoir, besides making a little bell happen. Anyway, now we've got the marble down there, so we can build our platform. Because this is going to be... let's see, it's going to be 3, and then 1 more, just for wall purposes. And this would have been better if I had made sure that I had, like, a builder's wand or something, but that's okay. We're going to be fine. I didn't bring any pickaxe at all. We're not going to be fine. Removing our mistakes is going to be a slow and painful process. Make sure you prepare in advance, folks. But yeah, as you can see, the flux point is perfectly happy to transfer power interdimensionally, which is just fantastic. And the other useful tidbit that I figured out is that the cursed earth is perfectly happy to generate monsters when there are no players in the dimension. Which means we're going to be able to set this up. You know what? Let's just... bam. Now we know the exact working area that we need to make sure that we contain, because I want to make sure that I have the maximum possible Enderman spawnage happening that crusher can handle, which means giving us a 7x7 cursed earth platform. The cursed earth will continuously generate Enderman at all times as long as this chunk is loaded, and we can chunk load thanks to FTB utilities. We don't need to do anything extra for that. And as you saw, all of the ingredients for this particular machine are very cheap and easy to get. The hardest part of it all is the the initial set of ender pearls that you need. Alright, I'm going to finish getting this structure built, and then we're going to finish configuring the machines. I actually failed to bring enough basalt with me for this, so I'm going to have to make a trip back, but we'll handle that in a little while. First things first, let's get our item duct down and our modular storage, and we're going to toss the modular storage right here. Put down another torch. I want to make sure that the platform I'm standing on doesn't get a whole ton of Enderman in it. Get our item servo and have that just pumping. And then it's just a case of cursed earth and water it. There we go. And we should have Endermen start spawning in earnest anytime now. It's already generating solidified experience and ender pearls for us. Now all we need to do is put our remote storage in, and we can see the experience and ender pearls enter the system and then get pulled out on the other end of the dimension. There. Now, at whatever rate the cursed earth is going to be able to generate endermen for us, because they're pretty much the only thing that spawns here, we're going to be sending our, we're going to be killing them and sending ender pearls back home. Now all I need to do to make sure that this continues running at all times is to claim these chunks and load them. And honestly, if I want to be really kind about it, let's see. You can shift F3. Is it shift F3? No. Hang on. Control F3? There's a way to display chunk boundaries, and I forget what it is. Let me double check this. There it is. It's a very silly key combination, F3 plus G. And as you can see, we've got everything within one chunk. So I could load just this one chunk and be completely fine. Oh, we don't have our modular storage within one chunk. Oh well, if I'd been thinking ahead, I could have made sure to chunk load only the one chunk, but that's okay. We're only using two, and it's not, the servers aren't as sensitive to this sort of thing as they used to be, so it's not a big deal. Now, the problem that we're going to run into right now is that Cursed Earth does respect light level, which means we need to make sure that we don't have torches down around it at the moment. And we set up our light levels in a way that all of the Cursed Earth inside of the area is allowing spawning for maximum speed. Alright, so now the trip home. This is going to be a fun and exciting void block adventure. We don't have a pickaxe with us, so digging through the pillars isn't going to happen. If I remember right, you stick each torch on the 3. 3's good. 2? 2's good. 1? 1's good. Okay. How about the 0? I know the light level falls out. Okay. If you put down a torch every time you hit 0 for a one-wide platform, you'll be fine. For every 1 that you want to spread that out, then you're going to want to go back 1 more. And eventually I'm going to want to make this a 3-wide just for the ease of walking. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the 2s as they appear for us. 4, 3, 2. Because mob spawning in the end does respect light level. Now, if you had a pickaxe, you could dig right through this pillar and have it be good. We don't have a pickaxe, so we're going to be winding our way around the pillar, and there you can see the portal showing up. Oops. Be careful about accidentally spending blocks you don't have to. You may regret it. 3, 2, 1, gone. Luckily, we've got another stack and a half, and we're almost home. I like the end. It's kind of relaxing here. The weird hazy starfield makes me happy. And there we go. Now we've got a nice platform that gets us through the portal, and of course, because it's our first time going through the portal, we get the ending scene, which you can skip real quick by hitting escape. And because we're on yellow team, it spawns us right back in the middle of our platform. And if we watch for a bit, you'll be able to see that our experience and our ender pearls are still ticking up without us even being in the end. And this is something that we can pretty much guarantee that is not happening because of leftover buildup. Come on, there you go, 6970. Because we definitely were there long enough for the any buildup that was there to have been cleared out. There we go. We are now generating ender pearls at a pretty darn good clip, and we're in good shape. Let's take a look at our other resources. I hooked up the resource generators over here to the system because to help provide excess redstone, because the redstone was dropping, but it looks like everything else has stabilized and capped out. We might be a little bit rough on silver. It's kind of fluctuating a bit. Nah, looks like we're okay. Everything's okay, moving at a decent clip. Alright, so now that we've got a ton of ender pearls, we can finish that super RF storage that we wanted. Oop, I'm gonna need a few stacks of blaze powder. Just kind of throw resources at it until it finishes itself. And what are you waiting on here? Oh, obsidian. Huh. Yeah. I do wish that there was a way for me to easily set this thing to be able to access the system so I didn't have to be manually throwing in blaze powder and obsidian, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm going to get this thing finished, and once it is, well, I mean, I guess I'm not going to wait for that many ender pearls. We should, I'm going to let some more ender pearls build up, and then we're going to make use of some of those ender pearls to do some cool, some other cool things that are going to help us out. And it is far past time. I mean, we've got our RF production, and we've got our EU production handled. Oh yeah, speaking of EU production, I talked about this the last time I messed with the system, and I hadn't come back to it since then. I vastly overcalculated. The EU goal is 3 million, not 30 million. And to produce 3 million worth of EU... You know what? Hang on. There's the thing I can use for this, so that I can do my calculations on screen a bit easier, which I'm kind of happy about. The calculatron! I need lime dye. I think my easiest way to get lime dye is actually to get into Britannia. Anyway, well, I'll set that up between episodes once we get Britannia going. 3 million EU over the course of an 3 million EU at 16 EU per tick, which one of those bio generators, I think they're called. Yeah, one of these bio generators can produce is 187,500 ticks, which is 9,375 seconds, 156 minutes, 2.6 hours. So just 3 of them will get it done in under an hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 of them, so that should be able to do the whole thing in about 20 minutes. The only problem is we need to make sure that we can supply the fermenter with that kind of resources to be able to produce enough biomass for the fractioning stills to do their job. And to keep the fermenter going as much as possible, I think that there is an actually additions block that we can use. Nope. I've got it wrong. No, the actually additions doesn't have a plant fertilizer, does it? Hang on, that's the farmer? Yeah. What we want instead is the fertilizer from industrial foregoing. Because the fertilizer from industrial foregoing, if we check it out in the manual, can work with bone meal. Can also work with industrial foregoings or forestry's fertilizer. And we are generating plenty of bones. So, to make our industrial foregoing fertilizer, I think we've actually got everything we need. Yeah, we're running low on leather, but we've got plenty of zombie flesh to turn into leather as we need to. And I'm going to want another pulverizer for the bones. So let's have pulverizer. And I'm actually going to want 2 of these plant fertilizers, aren't I? Yeah. 1 for the wheat and 1 for the sugarcane. How exactly do I want to set this up? I think what I want to do, because these can easily cover up to a 9x9. Oops, wrong way around. Let's fix that. Helps if you grab your pickaxe, doesn't it? I think then I want to have these set up just on the sides like this. Ha! Ha! I did it again. I might not be able to easily do this. Oh, there we go. Crescent wrench can rotate it. Good! And we're going to give them power from the flux point. And then we need to make sure that we get enough of a range upgrade in these, because as you can see, it'll work in that 5x5 initially, but it does need... Ooh, invalid block. What? There you go. It does need 1, 2, 3 more range than that. And the range add-ons are relatively cheap. I think their primary things they want that's difficult is that they want slime balls. There we go. Range add-on tier 3. Nope, just tin and plastic. So we're going to need 2 of these. Oh, we need more paints. Here, make a stack, put it away. Tier 4, tier 3. 2 of them. We'll go put 1 of them in, and then we can see if it actually gives enough of a range to cover the full field. Which I'm pretty sure it will. Yes, it does. Perfect. Alright. Now we just need to supply it with bone meal, and also its friend that we're going to put right here. To make sure that we are also fertilizing and generating sugarcane at maximum speed. I don't know if it's going to work as well on the sugarcane. I'm not 100% certain that that's worthwhile. But we're going to try. There you go. And you know what? I'm going to pipe into the bottom of these because we've got that option available to us. All I need to do is head downstairs and make sure that I've got the platform set up. Oh, darn it. Really need elevators. It's on the list. It's a very long list, isn't it? It's always a long list. Ooh. We don't quite have enough platform to pipe into the side. Alright, so that's actually an actively terrible idea for now. Instead, what we're going to do is we'll just set up our pulverizer back here. Yeah, this will work out. Pulverizer here. We'll put the power underneath. Give you power. Grab an item interface and an item laser relay we've got. Interface, relay. We can turn you to feed into that side. Oh. Relay right there doesn't work out, does it? But a relay right here does. And just to keep things clean, we're going to have you go to side, and then we'll feed it into the full-on system. Where'd my wrench at? Pout? You must have deposited it at some point accidentally? Toss it on the ground? Who knows? Give me that back. One of these days we might actually need to upgrade those. Those gold chests. But I like that we've automated our inventory management. Aw, darn, too far away. That's okay. Stick one here as our linkage. There you go. Now it's part of the system. And the reason we wanted it to be part of the system was so that we could pump in bone meal. Have it take out the side, and actually, you know what we can do? We can export out the back. No, we can export out the top. There we go. Because we're gonna have this. Oop, I need bone. This is going to allow us to basically do this. There, you are whitelisting bone. Should be pumping bones in. Yes, you are. And we're gonna go ahead and upgrade that for maximum speed. Get it from up to 50 power usage to keep up with everything. And then we export, and we cut you off right there. And right here. And then we just run the item ducts around the sides of the platform. No, that's not ideal, but it'll do for now. Oh, darn it! I got my power on the wrong side of this one. It's always something, as I like to say. Always something. And as you can see, well, it should be trying to export bone meal into here. Let's see, fertilizer input, all sides allowed. Yep, it's already exporting. Good, there goes some bone meal. Should end up in here soon. If we want it to go faster, we can use the better item ducts that transmit items faster. But for the purposes of this particular build, I think this will be fine. And then we do the same on the other side. And now we should have our wheat and sugarcane producing plenty fast enough for our EU generation to be done in an hour. Well, much less than an hour, like 20 minutes. Excellent. Bone meal is showing up in you, and it's going to round robin between the two, and it'll have plenty of time to build up the bone meal. If you want to make sure that you are using the faster option, because for the faster item transit option, those are available by putting your item ducts into a fluid transposer filled with energized glowstone, which is produced the same way as your destabilized redstone by putting glowstone into a magma crucible. And it requires, hang on. It requires 200 millibuckets of energized glowstone. You get 250 out of one glowstone. So for every 4 glowstone, you can infuse 5 item ducts. Right, and because I'm doing my darndest to actually keep to my schedule and stop the streams at the appropriate points, it is, well, not the streams, the episodes, yeah. It is time for us to wrap up. Thanks very much for hanging out with me. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If so, leave me a thumbs up, tell me what you liked. If not, leave me a thumbs down, tell me what you'd like to see me do better. Either way, you want to see more of this series, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.